And now we are live. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Bobby L. Perry. I'm the CEO of BPerryFilms, and also I just launched a new product called the Artistic Creator Academy. Now we are live. All right. Hold on for the audio.
I can introduce myself while you're doing that.
You
hey
guys
everybody.
can write where you're from.
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Aaron Morin. And I work at Thinkific. My title is Senior Manager of the Customer Education and Community team here. And I'm super excited to be on this live here with Bobby Perry. Live here with Bobby Perry. All right. So if you're in the chat, go ahead and let us know where you're coming from. Say hi. And if you're watching this in the future, hello and welcome. We were live here on Monday, October 17th. And we're really stoked to get started here. So we're just going to wait a little bit for people to come in. And we have some audio issues that we are solving right now. And welcome. Such as live on Monday, October 17th. Really stoked to get started here.
I'm sorry for the audio, you guys, if you're listening to this. We're going to start in 1 minute.
Some audio issues that we are solving right now. Such as live.
There you go. Solved it.
All good now?
Everything is good.
Perfect.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, I'm feeling excited.
Mhm.
I'm here in Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and we've had the warmest October on record. So it's been nice. It's also a little concerning, but it's been nice to have it so temperate. Usually at this point in time, it gets really rainy for most of the year. We only get about like 4-5 months of summery, warmer temperatures before it starts raining again consistently. So
Yeah,
we're being grateful for that. Yeah. How
it's
about you?
raining
How are
over
you doing?
here.
Yeah.
It's been very cold. Sometimes it's a little bit warm, but winter is definitely here.
Yeah.
Waiting for the snow to come in October.
Yeah, it's really nice out here for now. So I'm at my home office and just enjoying it right now. But yeah, I'm really excited to chat with you about your big launch. So
Yes.
have you broken the news to your audience yet?
Yes, I let them know last week, and it was major news. I was letting people know that there's 4 phases going on. The first phase is rebranding. So not only am I known for my artistic background in performing arts, I do film, I do podcasting, business coaching, and I felt that a lot of people are like, how do we get featured on the podcast? Am I eligible for it? And stuff like that. And yes, I have changed the criteria a little bit. I do require people to be registered at least 1 year as a freelancer or as a business owner to be featured, just for screening purposes. I don't want any scammers, especially, on Clubhouse, YouTube, Twitch. Everyone says that they're certified, but you can't even look them up on Google.
Yeah. There's a lot of that out there for sure. Yeah, it's good to have a screening process. It's very good to have that. And as you get bigger, your guest hosting, guest podcasting endeavors are going to be flooded with more and more of those kinds of people. So it's good to get started now, and make sure that you're only having like the quality people on, so to speak.
I agree. What started the Artistic Creator Academy is that I couldn't figure out what was a word that defined me personally. Everyone refers to me as an artist. Some people call me an entrepreneur. Some people call me a scholar. So I was like, let me combine all this into one term called an artistic creator, where it's someone who has mastered a niche and has turned it into a brand or a business or product and service. And they're using their platform to help motivate other people to do the same or even better. And your job as the artistic creator, it's to set the tone, set the mood. Like when I'm tired, that's when I give people permission on my team to get tired. If I'm continuously working, I expect everyone to be at equal work ethic because we have a job that we have to do. And as a solopreneur, I don't have a team yet, but I'm hoping to hire in January. But it would be nice to have someone to ease up the workload a little bit.
Yeah, being an artistic creator is incredibly difficult work. And you said that you're out here to do a job. So I'm wondering what is that job that you're out here to do?
I just want to showcase that everyone has their own story. I'm being featured on a speaking engagement this weekend, and the topic is for my presentation is creating your own narrative story. It's like not everyone who is considered Black is homeless, grew up with a single parent, on poverty and stuff like that. Not every white person is privileged and has all these opportunities made. And I feel like we shouldn't enslave ourselves just to fit in these molds, whether it's on YouTube or on TV. And I feel like there's not enough people reporting back and forth to each other and saying, yes, I have similar qualities as you, but how did he persevere through that? People don't ask you those questions about how do you fail. People are more focused on how did he make that money? How did he get the hustle and all that?
Yeah, we see that a lot in the space that we're in. So for those that don't know, I work for a company that helps people put together online courses, and sell them on their own platform called Thinkific. And we see a lot of that in our own content when we're doing our own keyword research. The things that really get a lot of volume, I would say, are the kinds of searches that are really focused on those almost superficial outcomes, like how did you make that $1 million? How did you make that much money? So it's important to create your own narrative. So when you say a narrative, I guess that goes beyond storytelling in the classical sense. It's more about telling your story. Is that right?
Yes. Like I said, we don't want people to fit into a box and feel like they're enslaved to just, you have to be this specific one person, but everybody has their own uniqueness to them, even twins, even identical twins. They have something different about them, whether it's their parents or their personality.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you start on your own path to writing your own story?
From age 3, I started out in performing arts. I went to all performing arts schools. Elliott Church School was my first one. We did musical theater. And I remember going to see the Nutcracker for the first time. And I was like, I want to do ballet. I want to create my own stories too. So that started, got into jazz, tap, modern, did that every week, step team. And I think when I turned 8, I seen the Albanelli dance theater performance for the first time, and I was watching Revelations and some other works. I can't remember the other ones because it was so long ago, but it was just that I modeled my platform kind of like being like Ailey. I want to be just like him, and I just wanted to do it my own way. This set right here used to be a stage where I used to sell tickets to my family, $10 for kids, $20 for adults, raising money, buying my own music, lights, shower curtains for curtains, lamp poles for different lightings and different sets, costumes. And that was my early journey into choreography. I went to a performing arts school called Boston Arts Academy, and it felt like a test. You're dealing with like kind of like the paparazzi, like the drama of the different dynamics of different people and the artistic skills that people came in with. Some people stayed, some people graduated and moved on further in their careers, becoming producers, choreographers, songwriters, artists, and some sorts. And now it's just amazing seeing how the school has transformed. And I feel like these students are going to be really prepared. And I felt like when I hit 17, I was about to prepare to go to college. I believe I applied to 20 schools in 1 month because I was like, what if dance doesn't work for me? What if I end up changing my mind? What if an injury occurs? And I was just like, let me try to apply to some schools. I went to Dean College for undergrad. It was one of the best decisions that I made because not only was I building a community, I was learning behind the scenes of what it's like to be a business owner. Went to grad school for a year, graduated there with a 3.85 GPA, and I was breaking boundaries for my family. I was the first male to graduate from college in 15 years and first one to get the master's degree. And then my other cousin, she's the first female who got her master's degree and she's a lawyer. So, yeah.
This sounds incredible. So it sounds like I picked up on a few things that are really interesting to me. So like right off the bat, you were kind of an entrepreneur from the get-go, right? Just there was art and then there was entrepreneurship, and they seem to be together your entire journey all the way even till now.
Mm-hmm. And it feels like people just want to be entrepreneurs but don't know what the workload is.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's so saturated. So I was like, let me create my own term, get people verified as an artistic creator. I'm like, just because you sing a song doesn't make you an artistic creator. You're just a performer, but you have to earn that title through perseverance, your ups and your downs. You're not gonna get in, like, we'll say, like, even the biggest artists, they got rejected at one point or another. They probably still do get rejected, but look at them getting Grammys, Oscars, Emmys, and so much more. And they're starting their own studios, like Tyler Perry giving back to the Black community and people of color.
Yeah, that's so true. And it sounds like I like running your own business and being an entrepreneur is the key thing that separates you from being a performer and an artistic creator. And you've been doing that your entire life. So is this what you are creating now? Is this what you've been launching?
Yes. It's been 8 months of planning. I started out on YouTube. And I started with the podcast. I was like, we need to get narrative stories being told by regular people, not just celebrities. And that started. I switched into webinars a little bit, and so I can get a personal experience of like, what do people need help with? Is there something that I need to clarify with people with to help them persevere through whatever challenges that they're having with their business? And everyone's like, you should start a course, you should start a course. And then I was following Graham Cochran. I took one of his courses and I was like, let me start outlining this business plan. And then I got a notification from a membership that I joined that had a speaking engagement with the Thinking Color Summit. And then I found Zaylee and she's like, sign up for the accelerator. This is your last day to sign up. And I'm like, okay, let me do it. And I formulated everything in my plan. And I'm like, I need to do a flagship product that's going to sell and caters to all types of different people.
Yeah. And what is that flagship called?
The flagship product is called Creating an Effective Business Plan.
Perfect. So it sounds like you have tons of experience with that. It also sounds like you had a very organic trajectory. So in my experience working with course creators out there, the ones that have something very valuable to offer typically follow that path of, I'm going to give away what I know for free through podcasting, YouTubing, that kind of thing. And then they move into like lighter weight products like webinars and books and things like that. And then they move into flagship products as well. So it sounds like you followed the path exactly correct that I would want to see. It feels like this is going to be a super valuable course. And you also have lots of experience with business planning. It sounds like you have a lot of background there too. So this is really exciting. So who who is potentially the best kind of person to come into this? You mentioned that to become an artistic creator, you need to transform from a performer into also a business owner. So give us a little bit more detail there. Like, who is this program going to be right for?
It depends on the person. Everyone's going to be considered a creator or going to try to become a creator in some sort, because they're all coming out with different ideas. The first session is going to be the brainstorming phase, which is going to be the lighter note of the course, which is 10 months. And there's going to be 14 sessions with guest speakers who are certified in their industry. And this is more geared towards artists, scholars, and CEOs, or people that are looking into learning behind the scenes of how everything goes. And like I said, the brainstorming phase, everybody has all these multifaceted ideas. Do you need a niche? Do you not need a niche? And I'm just like, it depends. And your ideas are going to change as you go by. And it's okay. Just because you finish the course doesn't mean that you have to be slave to that one product or service or digital product. You have to test the waters like I'm doing. Everyone's like, how do you keep so organized? And I'm like, I'm stressed out in my head, but I'm grateful for this planner, and it's keeping me organized. I have a paper planner, and I emphasize on every video, when you get that pen and paper, that's the first step of starting a goal, because you're not only thinking it, you actually took the initiative and set a date of what you're going to do. And you need to understand SMART goals. Is it specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, or timely? Most of my goals are not even realistic at the moment. Sometimes they take a couple of years, and I'm like, I'm gonna make sure this happens, and no one's gonna stop me from doing what I got to do. I'm more about action, not about talk. And these people are gonna get transformations from day one. And most course creators talk about the transformation at the end. So I think that's what makes me stand out.
Yeah, it's incredibly important when you're creating a course to have those wins frequently throughout your course. So I'm really excited to hear that. When you say like who this course is for, it sounds like it's for the person who has a lot of ideas, but they have trouble actually putting their thoughts and words into action. And I totally agree with that approach. Everything starts with pen and paper and a SMART goal, and then from there the business plan can flow. So this is a really exciting opportunity for those kinds of people, and I know there's a lot of them out there. I know that this is probably the number one problem that most course creators face is I have 10,000 ideas and I'm kind of like in like option paralysis, essentially. So how you mentioned SMART goals, but how else do you kind of help people through those kinds of experiences in this program?
Applying SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. I feel like I'm teaching like a course curriculum right now, but everything, if it doesn't include SMART or SWOT, leave it. I think another thing that makes the course unique is that it caters to the busy person, kind of like me. You only get 1 to 2 sessions per month, so it's not a big commitment. You're just meeting on Saturday from 12 to 12:30 every Saturday. I mean, once every Saturday a month, if that makes sense. Hopefully I worded it right. So once a month on a Saturday, and then one day on a weekday when there's a guest speaker. So I noticed that a lot of people's pain points is that I have an idea, I want to launch it. But when you ask them, do you have a plan? They're like, yeah, just start. And I'm like, you need a business plan. When I registered my business, I came in with a full out document. They're like, wow, he's really prepared. I was like, this is how I want everything delegated. And this is my vision. And I'm going to take baby steps, achieving all the different modules that I'm going through with my own phases.
Yeah, I find when I'm talking to people about how to structure how they move forward with their business ideas, there's definitely a few different types of people, but I think that mostly people either struggle with like, what am I building towards? And that needs to be well thought out for them in order to proceed, or they just need a little bit of structure and they go ahead. And you're talking to performers, I'm assuming you're talking to creators out there who want to start a business or maybe are struggling to start a business. And those are the kinds of people who are the hardest working. We know that. I mean, you're an incredibly hard worker. My wife's a dancer as well. You give her choreography and she's going to learn. She's going to nail it. even if it costs her, a sleepless night or anything like that. So I know how hard performers work. So giving that kind of structure, I think, is incredibly important. And basically, you get to transform those kinds of people into business owners, which is really, really exciting. And I'm just wondering, so how does this kind of connect with the rest of your business out there? Like, what can people expect in this program that they might not get in your on your YouTube channel?
You get to work with me personally, which is a big thing. And the part that I'm most excited about is the membership called Creator Space, where I felt like, for me personally, growing up, everyone's like your competition and you're always trying to better yourself. You never say that you're the best dancer in the room. There's always room for improvement. And I felt like there was no one that I could really connect to on a personal level. I tried business groups, YouTube groups, Clubhouse, Facebook groups, and Alignable, which I'm on right now. And I feel like this is just too many platforms. I can't keep up with this. And I felt that it was important that I create a space where people can feel included. And I'm not sure if I already had mentioned before, but I'm having people sign NDAs when they sign up for the course, because some topics can be very triggering for some people, and some topics are sensitive because people are trying to start their own business. I'm not giving you a demo plan, you're actually writing your own business plan. Some of the rooms that are in Creator Space is affirmations. Everyone's talking about mindset coaches and stuff like that. And I'm like, why are you paying someone $500 for a mindset coach? You can do that yourself. So I think the community would be good at posting videos that are uplifting, affirmations that they make about themselves, their future self, manifestation. People can ask questions in the community as well. And the group can kind of piggyback on each other, giving them some type of support. And another thing that I'd like to mention, that there will be accountability groups that they can assign to themselves. And I'm most excited for milestones, like sharing the small wins, whether you're getting married, whether you're starting your business, getting a trademark, those little things matter.
Definitely. Yeah. And it sounds like it's a really safe space. I appreciate that you mentioned that, when you do share business plans, it can be kind of scary because, you never know somebody's going to like take that or whatever. So it's good that you have that protection in there too for your members. And I love that you're celebrating the little things, especially things outside of running your business, because I find that a lot of entrepreneurs are really lonely. There's not a lot of people out there to connect with. You have to go local, and with the pandemic and the post-COVID world, there's not a lot of places still where you can go and meet people. So these digital spaces are really important. So it's really interesting that you have one. And you also mentioned, so there's a few things here. I just kind of want to tally them off. There's your community space, your creator space, and then you said that you're also doing a live twice a month. But you did mention guest speakers, so I'm just wondering if you could elaborate on that for anybody who's interested in this program.
Y'all trying to get into the details.
Yeah.
I will let you know that we will have a licensed attorney for trademarking, patents, and copyrights. And then we have some people from banks and some other industries.
Okay, that's awesome.
And along with the course, you get discounts to upcoming webinars, and with the membership, you get exclusive content that's not shared in the course.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I get those questions a lot too, because I coach course creators out there, and I think one of the biggest questions people have is like, how do I protect my business online? There used to be a bit of a friction point between I can create some content and give it to a lot of people. I mean, you need to know a publishing house, need to write a book, etc. But now with the internet, it's a little bit easier to create content out there. So it's important to keep it safe as well. So these are really important things no matter what your business is. But are you teaching people mostly to create businesses that are online, or does this help for anyone who is thinking about an offline business as well?
All businesses are welcome. You don't have to be a performing artist. You don't have to be a CEO. You could be someone that works behind the scenes. You can be an accountant. You could be a trademark attorney. You can be a blogger, podcaster. Just anyone who's working and wants to put a full commitment to 10 months.
That's exciting. So I kind of want to switch gears too here. What do you think is the future for artistic creators? What do you think is like the best thing for people to move towards now if they're thinking about starting a business in this space?
I think for me personally, because of COVID, I think courses is a great way. Creating a brand for yourself. They were even saying about some artists who can't retire because they haven't figured out a product or something that embodies who they are and all their experience into one space. And I feel like since I can't go to every single country at this moment, I think course creation is a great way. And it's a way for me to test out the waters and see where are people failing right now, how's the industry changing, and also help me prepare for when I get back into doing tours and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm biased. I work at a company that helps people make courses, so I would say yes for sure. Uh, but I have seen the impact that digital products, even smaller products, even if you wanted to get started with a small ebook or webinars like you did, and I'm sure you could help people with that too. When you get started with digital products, digital learning products out there, it just opens up the world to you because as a performer, you might be teaching locally. And we had a performer who was a harpist, essentially. She made a harpist university. And it was really interesting to see because in order to learn from masters in harp, you'd actually have to take your like huge gargantuan harp, like somewhere in Europe, in order to play with them, or just trust that they had the right equipment for you. But now that can be happening in the comfort of your own home. So it really does open up some really interesting avenues. So I'm excited that you're able to teach that for other people now as well.
Definitely. And like I said, I put people's pain points first. And I
Mhm.
had to feel like, how can I relate to these people? It's not about having sympathy for people, but having empathy. And a lot of people don't have that. And everyone's like, you have to be genuine. You have to be genuine. But genuine people are angry. Genuine people can be happy. Genuine people can be sad. These are real emotion at real time. So we need to figure out, instead of just labeling people, just take people for who they are and meet them where they're at and see if you can pull them a little bit. If you pull too fast, they're gonna fall. But if you work as a team, pulling people out, you can make it a little bit further.
Definitely. And the right support system is crucial to that. So I'm glad that people will have a creator space within your membership to do that. That sounds awesome. Yeah, is there anything else that you wanted to cover about the program, or maybe in general about being an artistic creator?
Let me tell you about Thinkific. Why did I choose them? The price was pretty good. The opportunities that they give you is amazing, and being able to take a course in the course platform was a big thing, and seeing how everything operates. Technical support was very good. Um, they can call you, email you, chat. Everyone was very helpful.
Oh yeah, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, so as you already mentioned, you're a part of our Think in Color Accelerator program, which ended very recently. What was your experience there? Did you enjoy the program?
I enjoyed it, especially when we got to do the live Q&As and being able to interact with the students. I think a lot of people who run courses are kind of timid to show people how many people are in the room, so they just do webinars on Zoom. So being able to see that there's like 60, 80 people in a room and they're all just hungry and feeding off of each other, networking, being like, I want to buy into this, I want to buy into that. Can you help me out with this, that? It just felt like it was very organic and not staged.
Yeah, exactly. I think over time we've realized that that is the best value you can offer. It's just bringing people together and having those kinds of conversations and being on the same wavelength. We used to do it the other way, like you said, like in the timid way of not letting other people speak and not having other people on camera. And we used to do that, but we tried doing meetings instead of webinars on Zoom, and it really made a huge difference. It made an incredible difference when people could just speak up and ask the question that they needed to. And I'm very thankful for all of your questions during the lives that we had, because I think that you're one of the best voices in the room to be asking questions and bringing people up. So
Go me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a pleasure to work with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I did put the link in the chat box and it's also in the description, along with a description of how the course is being run. So definitely check it out. There are payment plans available for people, so take advantage of that, which is broken down into 4 months. Um, you can either just buy the course if you feel like you don't need a membership, but if you feel like you need that extra support, join a membership. It's an add-on fee at a very low price. And then if you want it for a whole year and you're feeling like very confident that you want to pursue this for a year, you can buy the bundle. And once that's over, you can continue with the community and hopefully motivate future people who join the group to keep going, and hopefully we get more artistic creators or just creators in the space.
Yeah, it sounds wonderful. Yeah. Perfect. Well, I don't think I have any other questions for you, Bobby. I'm happy to stay on and chat though if you have any other questions or thoughts that you want to go through.
Um, Let me see. I know some people had some questions about my podcast. Yes, it is continuing, but
Mm,
there's going to be modifications. Definitely check out my page, um, BPerryFilms.com, and it goes over the criteria of what is required for you to be certified for the podcast. Like I said, I'm looking for experts, and a lot of people have said, I don't feel like I'm qualified. It's okay. Sign up for the Artistic Creator Academy. I will help you train and get ready for the podcast so you can market your products and services to other people locally or even um, all over the world, because a lot of people shop online. You don't have to be a slave to a store. I know that's very expensive, especially when
mhm.
you go into manufacturing, hiring a team. What if something goes bad? You gotta rebatch, you know?
Definitely, yeah. And that's a really cool bonus as a part of the program, even just to say, you can jump on a podcast and jumpstart your business that way. So that's exciting.
Yeah, people take podcasts for granted, and everyone's like, I don't feel like I should pay to be on a podcast. And I'm like, that's marketing. If
Yeah, for
athletes
sure.
have to pay, you have to pay, you know? And it's a lot of work behind the scenes between figuring out products, figuring out projects, outreach, planning, recording, editing, doing a blog post, newsletters. Look at all the services that I'm offering that I do all
Yeah.
by myself. And I'm like, yeah, I should be charging more, but I'm being great, generous right now. But we'll see what happens in the future.
Yeah, I mean it's the best time to join, right? It's like ground floor, right? So I think those are all the opportunities that people look for, and then they look back on and think, ah, shoot, I should have done that, right?
I think a question that many people will have watching this is, why should people pick Thinkific in your perspective, even though that you work there?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I mean, I think the thing that you mentioned earlier about us caring and us being there and being supportive is probably the most important thing. I think we've gotten to the point since 2016 where a lot of the platforms do very similar things. So I think you can get an online course up and sold on a lot of platforms out there. But the key differences that Thinkific has are that we care a lot and like, you could take me at my word for that, or you can say, well, I need to see it in action. But um, with Bobby here, I think he can say that it's definitely the case that we care a lot about the success of creators on our platform. Beyond that, we are also probably the most in depth. If this is something that's very important to you, we're the most in depth on the features that come into the learning experience portion. So you're not going to be able to find better features out there to help control the student experience, but also offer more than just a playlist of videos. If you go to other platforms out there, it's mostly just a playlist of videos that autoplay and that you're charging for. And you know what? That's a great first product. But when you start getting into larger, more, competitive markets, you have to differentiate yourself on your student experience and the depth at which you can offer a product, especially if you're jumping into something already very hard to get into. So, for example, we have tons of people who teach Excel, tons of people who out there who are teaching, advertising, those kinds of things. So it's very important to differentiate yourself. And with Thinkific, you can do that on the student experience. and have those reviews and testimonials and referrals speak for themselves and help you grow your business as a growth loop instead of just a flash in the pan success that other platforms might give you. But yeah, if you want to try it out, you can go to thinkific.com. You can sign up for free. There's a complete free plan you can get started on. You get a course that you can start with and sell off all for free. And you can go ahead and check that out.
Definitely. I did write down some things. I like how Thinkific doesn't try to be all in one, because
Yes.
any platform that says that they're all in one, it's a stretch. There's always something that they can do improvements on, or it's just like it always feels like something's missing.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I think the analogy that I usually go for is that you can have an all-in-one, and it will reduce the amount of surface area for your business, which is great for cognitive load. As an entrepreneur, Bobby, it's very difficult. You do so many different things. But the problem that happens is, when you get into situations where you need a really good tool, all you have is a Swiss Army knife. So it does everything, but it does everything very poorly, essentially, which is the trap you end up in, and you have to migrate anyway. So you're saving yourself a lot of trouble by getting a platform like Thinkific, which can integrate really easily with other tools out there. We have tons of apps. You can go to apps.thinkific.com to find all the email marketing apps you could want, and content apps and other kinds of marketing apps. So I would definitely check that out too. But that's a very good point, Bobby. Thanks for bringing that up.
And I would also like to implement, for people that are looking into creating courses or even take my course, everything requires work, and people don't like listening to that or hearing that. But how you're supposed to expect anything to happen? Like, you're not going to be an efficient reader unless if you practice. You're not going to be a math whiz unless you practice. It's all about repetition and memorization. During the course, you will be taking some quizzes, and you will be having homework assignments to make sure that you're retaining the information. So once the program's over and you lose access to the course, you already know how to navigate to the next step. You're always welcome to reapply, of course, but just to save you some money, take notes.
Exactly. Yeah. Putting the learning into action is often what's missing from online programs, because they are just playlists of videos, and you can't actually put it into action by doing workbooks or taking quizzes or having homework assignments. That might be. Are you going to be providing feedback on people's assignments, or is it the community can provide feedback?
There will be some Q&As during the live sessions, but I want them to use the community the best that they can, and I'll go over some things so they don't feel too dependent on me. And then people can also sign up for business coaching
Nice.
as an add-on as well.
Yeah, it's important to offer those kinds of things as well. But I like that plan. Sounds really good.
Yeah. It's all about meeting people halfway and making sure that they feel like you understand them.
100%. Yeah. Where else can people find it? Maybe people are just coming across this for the very first time. Where else can they find you, Bobby?
They can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Clubhouse. Everyone's saying use TikTok, but I don't really use it that much. I'm just going to be honest. But I have been posting lately for the marketing, of course.
Yeah.
But I don't think you need to be on every platform.
No, you're totally right. We find that most people have one or two platforms where they publish the main content and then they just repost it. So if you're on TikTok, repost to Reels, repost to YouTube Shorts. It's just the same content anyways.
But get rid of the watermark.
Yes. Yeah, totally. Yeah. How have you been finding Clubhouse? It's an area that I've only ventured into as a consumer, not a creator yet.
I joined some of the rooms. Some of the rooms can be toxic. Some of the rooms can be supportive. I take it with a grain of salt, like any other application. It's there. I feel like they should have more certified people hosting the rooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been in rooms where people were crying because someone was telling them to sign up for a free webinar, and then when it's time for them to do their elevator pitch, they're like, sign up for my business coaching one-on-one for an hour, and it costs $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, where are they getting this money from?
Yeah.
Who are they targeting? I can understand maybe like 100 or 200, depending on your workload, but 1,000, you might as well sign up for a VIP day. It's a couple of thousand, but you get the full remap of your business.
Yeah, 100%. I think prices can vary wildly online for these kinds of services out there. So it's important to have a lot of value when it comes to what you're charging for. So, and you mentioned that you have a pricing plan, but what is the cost of this program going to be?
The course is 1,000. The membership is $20 a month, or you can get it the yearly subscription in a bundle for $12.40 altogether.
Okay,
It's the
yeah. So that
same costs, but it's just broken down in either the monthly or all at once. But there are payment plans for both.
yeah, that's important for sure. But yeah, that's pretty valuable when you come away with a full business plan and the work ethic that Bobby Perry has. So I think
Yeah.
that's a pretty good price. Yeah.
And all the money is being raised to help support the business, looking into hiring equipment, and
Mhm.
also some other phases that I'm going into. Phase 2, phase 3, phase 4. It's a year-long campaign. And this is just the beginning. Not only are you helping yourself, you're also helping my business as well flourish. And you also get credit um, towards my web series that's launching next year,
Oh,
later in
cool.
the year, next year, for supporting as a big donor. And also, you're leaving with a big impact that is going to help you start your business and have more opportunities to sustain your business rather just going up and say, I have an idea, let me wing it.
Yeah, it sounds great. So it sounds like more of an investment really than a cost, right? So you're investing in yourself, of course. Education is always a good buy, but you're also going to get more out of you essentially in the process. And you mentioned a web series, so I'm just curious about that. What kind of web series are you going to be creating?
It's similar to the podcast, but what more experienced people, I would say small businesses, at least 5 years,
Mm,
content creators, at least 5 years, 3 to 5 years, and for performing artists, over a decade. And they
okay,
are
perfect.
fully established and have branded themselves as an artist. And you have
Okay,
to
so
get
it sounds
known
like
to do
you're
that.
getting a lot of value just for this course then, because that's going to be like a whole nother area of expertise that you're unlocking.
Yeah. So I'm trying to build my audience as much as I can. Hopefully, people are subscribing to the channel as
Mhm.
we're watching this. And I'm putting you guys first. I'm not a scammer. You can look me up on Google, um, Bobby L. Perry. It pops up my whole portfolio. I have been in a newspaper. I have been on TV performing, um, featured on other people's podcasts, and I'm getting outside of my comfort zone, being on cameras a lot. Everyone's
Yeah.
like, how do you get comfortable in front of the camera? And I'm like, you don't, you just hit record and just go.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, when I first got started at Thinkific in 2016, prior to that, I'd only done written work. So I'd been doing education as only written. And one of my first days, uh, I remember our director of marketing walked over to my desk and said, "We're doing a Facebook Live, and we need a co-host. So why don't you hop in and jump on?" And I jumped on. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever done in my life, but more than 100 webinars later and countless hours of videos recorded, and now it just feels like natural. I can look in the camera and I can see a person's face there and feel empathy towards the audience. And it really does just take practice, like you said. And I mean, as a performer, you mentioned that earlier, everything is just putting in the work, putting in the reps, right?
Yeah, and it's everyone's like, um, how do you perform in front of like 1,000 or more people? And it's just like you're acting as a character, not really as yourself. And I'm more
Mm,
focused on the story, and hopefully it resonates with at least one person. Don't try to reach out to everybody because that's not going to happen. Some of them can't even see you behind someone else, so don't
yeah.
be concerned. But if you're having trouble using Zoom or going YouTube Live or Twitch, I think everybody's finding comfort in front of the camera now because it's the new trend. But Just look into the camera. Don't look at yourself. Look at the other person that you're dealing with. You can critique yourself at a later note, but you still got a video that you need to produce. It doesn't matter how tired, how sick I am. Sometimes sometimes my stomach hurts. Sometimes I feel like I have to throw up or I have to faint. But I'm like, I have to get this video out by Monday at 12 o'clock Eastern time every other Monday, for my audience. And I want to show them that I'm really dedicated to them and put themselves first. And I'm starting to take mental health days for myself to kind of like wind down. So I'm using this month period while everyone's registering to kind of relax and take a day off, which is extremely hard for me. Sometimes I go a month without a day off.
Yeah, same. I mean, this is the performer's work ethic, right? Like the show must go on.
3 to 6 months in advance for everything. It's very crazy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've seen that with my wife too. So it's a lot of work, and with business owners too. I mean, the skill set travels over so incredibly well. So yeah, this is exciting.
This is exciting. Thank you for being here and supporting.
Of course.
Definitely sign up for the Thinking Color Summit. I think you guys have it every year.
Yeah, we do.
Advantage of the accelerator.
Yeah. Keep an eye out next summer for that. We're going to be back with that for sure. And Zaylee will be there, and hopefully Bobby as well.
Yeah, hopefully I get to be a guest speaker.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a great goal to manifest for next year. Absolutely. Or for this year, I guess. Or
next year.
Yeah.
Everyone who's been watching, thank you for joining. I know that we had a little bit of technical issues in the beginning for like the first minute
always happens.
But hopefully you guys fast forward to 2 minutes and listen further. The link for the Artistic Creator Academy is in the description box and also in the chat. I want to get to know all of you on a personal level, and I want to see you all grow and become the best person that you can be. It's okay if you lose hope or want to give up, but stay committed. I'm here with you. Your team wants you to be here. Be true to yourself, and you might surprise yourself and accelerate and get a big audience on the first day. You know, launches are always exciting.
Yeah, always exciting. Yeah, lots of work, always exciting.
All right. Thanks
for having me, Bobby. I really appreciate it.
No problem.